So I keep on talking about discovery calls. Like, why do we care about discovery calls so much? And I will tell you in the Reader's Digest condensed version. So you'll notice your DMs and your email sequences are pushing folks to get on a discovery call with you. We're going to be talking about how you can use a tool like Calendly, which is like a scheduling tool, and Zoom, which is obviously what we're all using right now to be on this call, to kind of build some automations into that process. But the reason why we have discovery calls built into your welcome email sequence and your DM sequence is because they're so valuable in terms of getting feedback directly from your market. And even before you have some kind of offer of your own, you can use discovery calls to get a feel for the kind of things that your audience needs help with. And so that could drive your content strategy and let you know what kind of high value content that you can create. That can help you think about, okay, so let's just use this as an example. I'm promoting Legendary Marketer, and I'm getting a lot of folks on my calls that tell me, yeah, I wanted to buy the blueprints, but I just feel like Legendary Marketer is so male centric. It's so American centric. It's so blue collar centric. And so, taking in all of that information, and this is all real feedback that I've gotten, but you could take that information and create something that is unique for your specific audience. Does that make sense? So it'll kind of start getting the wheels turning for you. I'm not saying you have to run out and make an entire alternative to Legendary Marketer, but what you could offer is, hey, I realize that, Legendary Marketer or whatever other competitor is out there, or whatever offer you may actually be promoting yourself. But if you want to take advantage of the blueprints, but it sounds like you also need help in this area, you need that additional support, or you need like one-on-one help, build that in as a bonus to the high ticket Legendary Marketer offer. Does that make sense? So you're offering, oh yeah, the blueprints, they're fantastic. But when the market research you got on the discovery calls you've been having is, I need more one-on-one help. I need a community that is really responsive, because Legendary Marketer takes a long time to respond. I want to feel like I'm safe in sharing with a community full of women, for example. So if you are getting that real-time feedback from your market on these calls, which you absolutely will, build that for those folks, build that into a little bonus offer. And you can say, you know what, I hear you. I know that you need help with maybe getting your funnel up and running, or to understand how to even begin creating content on TikTok, because you don't even, know what the app looks like, for example. But create a 20-minute training video that shows exactly the ins and outs of using TikTok as a creator and how to set up your account. And you can use that as a bonus, which will address those pain points, those problems, those concerns that your audience is having, and sweeten the deal for you and really help you close those high ticket offers. Does that make sense? That's like what gets me really excited, because affiliate marketing and online business gets to be a win-win thing, a win-win-win thing. You as the affiliate get to cater to your audience and serve them. And so they receive value. You're helping solve their problems for them and you're over delivering on value. So they win. You win because you get to earn commissions and high ticket commissions, which are fantastic. And then the business whose product you're promoting, they get to win, so everybody's happy.
Barb.
Yes.
Is there like a set of questions to ask to kind of find out where their pain points are at? 'Cause I'm assuming if I talk to a regular person and I say, what are your pain points? They may not understand what pain points mean. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't sure if you had like a list of, or a template of types of questions to ask, or you just find out through just regular conversation and probing.
Yes. That's actually on the next, I believe it's the next slide. Yeah, that's a great question. So there are kind of two things that you want to, Susan says she has her first discovery call booked tomorrow. Congrats. That is amazing. I'm really curious to know how it goes. But there are two things that you kind of want to do on a discovery call. Number one, just provide massive value. Again, part of the purpose of conducting these calls is to continue to establish your credibility and authority. And you do that by answering all the questions that the person has and just over delivering on the value. So you want to get information from them so that you can clarify the transformation that you can help your audience and that person to achieve. And you can also, like I was just alluding to a minute ago, but you can help, or they can help you start to define what your USP or your unique selling proposition is. In other words, how you can offer something that is different than everything else that's out there being offered. So part of building your personal brand, and I was actually just creating or made a TikTok about this yesterday, but it's like there are 30,000 different types of soda. There are tons of different kinds of just Coca-Cola in general, right? And it's like, they're not super well differentiated. They're slightly different. Like there's vanilla Coke, there's Diet Coke, Coke Zero, like all these different kinds of Coke. And then beyond that, there's just tons of other kinds of sodas. And it just goes to show you that for every kind of soda that's out there, there is a person or a group of people that are super into that kind of soda. Some people are crazy about it. Some people are like Coke over Pepsi or die, like they just get so crazed about it. But it's like you get to create that in your own, when you're creating your personal brand, is the thing that sets you apart from your competition. So are you going to be like the cherry Coke? Or are you going to come up with some other flavor of Coke that is absolutely completely different? So again, this is helping you establish that credibility and authority and building know, like, and trust. When you're getting on a free call with someone, and just over delivering on value, answering all their questions, like they're going to be so grateful that you took your time out, and they're going to want to reciprocate that. So this is kind of like some guidelines of questions to ask on a 30-minute discovery call. What motivated you to schedule a call with me? What problems are you currently having with affiliate marketing? Or what problems are you currently having with dieting, or whatever your niche is? You'd want to ask questions with that XYZ being your niche. What have you done in the past to try to solve XYZ? So if they express that they just hate their job and they're really trying to build an online business or find a way to make money online, what have you done in the past to try to solve that problem? Like, what have you done in the past to try to make money online? Why hasn't what you've done in the past been successful in solving that problem or pain point? And they might volunteer a ton of information. Well, it was too time consuming, or I didn't understand the technology aspect of it, or it could be something that's like a super easy fix that you can give them right there on that call that will have a huge impact on them. One of my favorite questions is, what is the ideal situation that you're looking to get to? And it's not enough to just, time and financial freedom. Girl, that's like the most vanilla answer you can get. Why do you want time and financial freedom? Oh, well, I have a bunch of student loan debt and I want to be able to stay at home with my kids. Why? Like the more you ask why, ask why about 4 or 5 times and you'll get to the actual root of the problem, or the root of the feeling, the actual feeling of it. Why do you want to be able to stay home with your kids and pay off your debt? Because it is so stressful to me. And I'm like laying awake every night, like having a panic attack, thinking about this debt and feeling like I'm going to be trapped at my job forever and not able to pay it off. And therefore I'm going to miss my kids, growing up. Why is that? Why does that matter to you? Because my parents were not around when I was growing up and I was raised by babysitters, and I want to be home with them. And it like just destroys me inside to think that my kids are going to be raised by strangers. That's where it gets really juicy. That's where you're really hitting a pain point. Time and financial freedom is always the top layer answer, and that's never the real answer. So ask why a bunch of times till you get to that really painful pain point, and that's the juicy stuff. What would help you get yourself to that ideal situation? So they might have an idea of like that clear path and what that looks like to them, or they may have no idea. How can I help you? What do you need from me? So those are questions that kind of refocus it on action orientation. What are the things that I can actually provide to you that would benefit you and help move you past these problems to closer to that ideal outcome? And so this is kind of a carryover from our past call, but I want to talk about creating high value content on Facebook. So go live in your Facebook group 1 or 2 times per week for anywhere between 15 and 60 minutes. Something that I would recommend that you do to help you organize your thoughts is just to create a Google Slides document such as this. It'll also help take, if you feel at all uneasy about being on camera, it will definitely take some of that pressure off of you, because you can just show your Google Slides and have your face be a little box right over here. And most people won't even care about what your face is doing, because they're looking and reading and looking at any pictures on the screen or any kind of visual aids. And also you get to just, put 1 to 2 sentences about the topic that you want to discuss, put it on the screen. And then that way you're not having to memorize an entire script. You can just kind of be prompted by whatever is on the screen and move forward from there. And you can discuss or educate on any subtopic within your niche. So using affiliate marketing as an example, choosing a domain. A lot of people get caught up on that. It's like mind boggling to me. You could let people know you can use barbrecommends.com, and then you could promote 50 different things, barbrecommends.com/keto, barbrecommends.com/dogs, and explain to them that they can have one single domain and not have to be tied down to a specific niche based on that, or barbmcgowan.com, that you can take that in a lot of different directions, especially if you're building a personal brand. How to build a funnel, if you're not in the affiliate marketing space, how to track your food intake on a keto diet, or how to use the clicker to train your dog. So it could be something that's really high level, like here's how affiliate marketing works, like from a 30,000 foot perspective, or it could be something really granular, like which domain registrar is the best to use. Is it GoDaddy? Is it Namecheap? Here's a highlight reel of which ones are the best and why. So again, creating high value content on Facebook. So ask your audience what they need. And that could be in your DM sequence and group posts and polls via email or via discovery calls, what topics they're confused by or need help with. So I know I showed you guys how to like create a Q&A or create a poll on Facebook. I think it was this week, maybe it was last week. But that's going to be one of the ways that you can poll your audience, in addition to getting on discovery calls, feedback via email, and feedback in DMs. But you're able to create an event in Facebook and invite group members so that they will receive a notification when the live training is about to begin. So just like I sent you all invites to these calls, you can do the same for your live training in your Facebook group. Once the live training is concluded, you can actually download that from Facebook and upload it to YouTube, and then begin building your library of high value content. You can also, and you should also, cross promote Facebook and YouTube. So what I mean by that is in your YouTube video description, say, hey, if you like this content, you're basically going to have your affiliate link that you promote at the very top. But one of the calls to action that you want to include in your YouTube description is come join my Facebook group, get help and support, as you learn affiliate marketing, or as you navigate finding your way through the keto diet or whatever your niche is. And also when you create videos on YouTube, or sporadically as people need help with that same topic, repost that video from YouTube into your Facebook group. And so that way people can get, again, re-educated without you having to keep making the same content over and over and over. And just like a really brief secret that I want to share. So my free affiliate marketing course, which has been like a huge boon to my Facebook group. I didn't go into it thinking, okay, I'm going to create a free course. It was really just having repurposed training content, repurposed video content that I had uploaded to YouTube. And then I realized that I needed to put it into a course format just for ease of use and accessibility for the people in my Facebook group. So like, you are all capable of creating a free course, which is like a super powerful lead magnet. But all you have to do is remember that you need to, number one, get that, like solicit that feedback from your audience about what they need and what they want to see. Temper that kind of with what you already know, the expertise that you have about this subject or the niche that you're working in, and kind of combine those two, because if people don't know what a sales funnel is, they won't know that they need help building one. But as you start to educate them and like draw them deeper into your funnel, they're going to have a better idea of the help that they need. And you can kind of use that feedback loop to inform your content strategy. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It's not like I'm some master tactician or course creator. I just basically looked and saw that I had the content already created on YouTube that would kind of walk people through the process of getting started in affiliate marketing, and then coursified it in a ClickFunnels way. Creating high value content on YouTube, you can and should eventually also create content specifically for YouTube rather than like just downloading and repurposing live Facebook training content. But that doesn't need to be your primary concern at this point. The reason why YouTube is so powerful, I mean, so many different reasons, but the folks who, like, if you have a following on TikTok, you could have a following of 100,000 people and it doesn't mean anything. I'm not saying that that doesn't mean that you can't be successful, but if you have a following of 10,000 people on YouTube, that is so much more, says so much more than a huge following on TikTok. Somebody on TikTok could see one video that they think is funny and follow you just by virtue of a funny video. And that's it. Not having any real interest in the content you're creating, but just thought one video was amusing. And that's enough to get a follow out of them. On YouTube, the people who follow you are deliberately following you because they like you, they like what you have to say, and they find your content valuable. So the folks that subscribe to your YouTube channel are those diehard fans. And you can bring those folks, and you can and should bring them into your Facebook group so that you can continue to cultivate them and provide value to them, because YouTube folks are such a warm and hot lead source. But until then, I will show you how to download a video from Facebook and upload it to your YouTube channel. So here is a video. You want to do this on desktop. You just click in the video to maximize it. I'm going to pause this. And then up in the upper right-hand corner here where these three dots are, you click that and you click download. All right. And then here's my YouTube. I've already set up my channel, but you just click here, upload video, select the file, and select the one that I just downloaded from Facebook. And that's it. You would just change the title to match the content of the video, write a description. You can add it, can and should add it to a playlist, but that's pretty much it. So you don't need to overthink it. It's not as difficult as you might think. But I just kind of wanted to highlight like how easy that process really is. It's not as intimidating as most people think. And ultimately, think about the initial content that you're posting to YouTube is really going to be stuff that you're going to repurpose and send to people via DM or via email. So it's like you're directly providing people with your link so that they can click on it and access it. You're way less worried about people finding your content organically on YouTube at this point. So don't worry a ton about like SEO or the description being highly optimized or anything like that. You can and should get to that point eventually, but don't overwhelm yourself with thinking about how am I going to manage SEO on YouTube. Don't worry about that. Just start building your library of content. And the great thing about YouTube is you can always go back and change the title, the thumbnail, the description. You can change all of that. You don't have to start over from scratch. So don't worry too much about it. Just start building out that content library. Alrighty. So at the very bottom, your homework, should you choose to accept it, is to create your YouTube channel. Again, it's about a 30-minute process, and this video is going to walk you through step-by-step how to do it. For those of you who already have a YouTube channel, obviously you get a pass on this one. But what I would say, if you haven't already, is click here and save this script. It's a YouTube video script to your Google Drive. The reason I say that is I used to think that I was so much better at creating video content when I was live until I started using a script. And then I realized, oh, it's actually exponentially better if I like know what I'm going to say and do it in a more polished way. And I just want to give you like my process really quickly of how I use this script to actually create a YouTube video. So the script is on a Google Doc. So I will just pull it up so you can see it. So I write the script. So I will write my script and then I will open the script on my Google Docs on my phone. turn my phone this way and just set it on my laptop so I can see the script. And then I start recording on my computer. I use Camtasia. That's not of consequence right at this moment. But I will look down at my phone while my camera is recording. I'll look at the first line of the script and say, hey guys, Barb McGowan here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about XYZ thing. And I'm super excited. So hit the like button, subscribe, whatever. And then I'll pause, look down at the next line, and then look up and do the next line, and so on and so forth. And so obviously I'm going to have to go back and edit out those sections where I'm pausing to look down at my phone. But that is so much easier than having to edit out all the, like all that stuff, because I didn't have a script and didn't know what I was going to say. So I'm just passing that along. It has saved me tons of time and pain, having discovered that a script is actually the best way to go. Have a professional create your thumbnail. And so if you guys don't know what a thumbnail is, I'm going to pull up YouTube. So a thumbnail is like this picture. So like, here's one from my buddy, Alex. This is a nice looking thumbnail, but it's basically going to catch people's attention. It's a visual hook of sorts, and it's going to catch people's attention and let them know who this video is for and what it's about. Like, why should somebody watch? So major TikTok updates for 2022. Who's going to care about that? Content creators, people who create content on TikTok and want to know how to, use the algorithm to their advantage. So I struggled in the past and just used Canva to make thumbnails. What I would highly recommend is that you guys hire somebody professional on Fiverr. If you need like a specific recommendation, I can tell you the specific person that I use. The reason why thumbnails are important is because think about it. If you have an ugly book cover, nobody's going to want to read that book, no matter how amazing the book itself actually is. Having a good thumbnail is going to increase the number of people that actually click your video and give it a chance to get watch time. And watch time, just like on TikTok, is what's really important on YouTube. So again, that will help with your click-through rate and the watch time, which are like the most important things that will drive your videos on YouTube. And yeah, I'm not going to get super in depth with the rest of this stuff just in the interest of time, but just know that your thumbnail and your title, that's what's really going to drive your YouTube views, your watch time, and your growth on that platform. All right. So going live is of the utmost importance. You can kill multiple birds with one stone. Rest in peace, birds. I feel like I say that a lot and it sounds kind of violent. But you can go live on Facebook and simultaneously live stream on TikTok or Instagram. So don't feel like, oh man, she wants me to go live all the time on Facebook. How am I going to also add that to going live on TikTok? Just do both, yes, the people who are on TikTok won't be able to see your screen if you're sharing some kind of visual aid, but they're going to get the gist of what you're saying. And you can use that inability of them to see your screen to entice people over to your Facebook group. If they want to see, the screen share you're doing or the demo that you're doing, let them know, hey, click the link in my TikTok bio, join my Facebook group, and you can get access to these lives and all the past replays. I go live twice a week on this day and this day. And just use that to draw people in from the attention stage of just scrolling through on lives on Instagram or TikTok, and bring people into your community. Going live is also huge for building know, like, and trust, because people get to see you in a non-produced setting. So on TikTok, we're creating content, but we can re-record it if we don't like it until it achieves some level of, perfection. When we go live, people get to see our personality and what we're actually like. And it's our personality and our vibe that really will draw our folks in. All right, Calendly and Zoom. So if you've ever scheduled a call with me before, some of you have and some haven't, but I use a Calendly link to do all my scheduling for me. Why it's so fantastic is Calendly integrates with Google Calendar and Zoom, meaning that if somebody books a call with me through Calendly, it'll automatically create an appointment or an event in my Google Calendar. And Google Calendar is how I manage my workload and my life. If it's not on my calendar, it does not exist. And so my calendar is it's up to date, and it gets blocked off whenever people schedule a call. And it also sends that person a Zoom link so that we're on the same page. So this is what I have set up. And it's not important that you have yours set up exactly like this. I have mine connected through my domain, but you can just send someone your Calendly link, which is like calendly.com/barbcall123, let's just say. But I have it integrated with my actual domain so that when I send people a link to book a call with me, they're going to receive a bunch of information. So they're here scheduling a call with me. Step 1 is booking a 30-minute call. So this allows people to book a call. Here are the dates that I'm available. So let's say they want to book one for February 1st. It's automatically going to default to their time zone. So there's not a lot of confusion versus if you were trying to coordinate a time with someone via DM. So if you're sending somebody DMs back and forth, like, hey, when's a good time for you to get on a discovery call with me? Oh, how about February 1st? And then having to try to think through what time zone they're in, look at your calendar, have them get back to you when they can look at their calendar, et cetera. It's much easier if you can just send somebody a link and then they can pick a time that works for them. So we're just going to select 8 o'clock. Then they will enter their name and their email address. And then there are going to be some qualifying questions. So, and I can post these in the Facebook group. I don't want to spend too much time going through each and every question, but these are just qualifying questions that are going to get more information so that I'm fully prepared to do this discovery call with them. And eventually, once you have enough high value content, you can build a page like this. This is my kind of call confirmation page. So step 1 was booking the call. Step 2, read the below. This is mandatory. So congratulations on booking your call. Please check your email for confirmation and Zoom information. The benefit of creating a page like this is when people book a call, they're taken here and it lets them know what to expect. So they need to consume all of the high value content that I have below. So I have a whole bunch. It's anything from interviews to testimonials to any kind of stuff like that. But this is all high value content. And the intention of this is the 7-hour rule. So again, this is indoctrinating people with who I am, what I'm about, the value that I have to provide and offer. And basically just letting them know I am the authority on this call. And it's also it's kind of like weeding out the folks that are not serious. So if people are just looking for freebies or handouts, they're a lot less likely to actually go through and look at this content, or maybe they will start looking at it, realize that, okay, I actually don't want to build an online business. I'm just looking to fill out like surveys and make $5 here and there. So they're actually not interested in building an online business, but this is going to weed out the folks that are not in the real target audience or the demographic that you want to connect with. Zoom is critical, really, when you're getting into the trenches of building your online business. And I do mean like a paid Zoom account. And the reason I say this is it's so useful, not only to be able to schedule discovery calls with folks, because you could honestly have just use your, if you're doing everything manually, in other words, you could go back and forth in the DMs with people, figure out a time that you want to meet with them, set it up on your Google Calendar, and then manually send them the Zoom link. And that's absolutely doable. It's going to take a lot more time and energy rather than having it be more like in an automated fashion. But the reason why I say paid Zoom accounts are so worth it is because you can also, in the same way that right now we're on a Zoom call and I'm showing you like this Google Slides presentation, you can stream this, you can record it like what we've been doing, but you can also stream it live into a Facebook group. And so if you get on a Zoom call and you have like a Google Slides presentation that you want to do, it's fairly easy for you to set up the ability to live stream that Zoom call into your Facebook group. And you could be the only person on your Zoom call, but still be able to stream your presentation into your Facebook group and go live in that way. And so that's like a pretty easy, straightforward way of being able to stream yourself, again, with your face in the little square in the corner, but also be sharing like a Google Slides document or sharing your screen as you do like a ClickFunnels tutorial or navigate around YouTube or show people how to look at content on TikTok or whatever you want to be doing on your screen. But that's another added benefit of Zoom. Does that make sense? So it's just like another easy avenue for you to go live on Facebook without having to set up a bunch of technical stuff, or having to use OBS Studio, which is a tool that I use to go live on Facebook if I want to share like a presentation or I want to share my screen. So you can use a tool like OBS Studio, but there is more technical setup involved versus Zoom, where you can basically, it's as easy as getting on a call and clicking a button to say, hey, I want to stream this live into my Facebook group. So your homework is to create a Calendly account, which is this link here, and sign up for a paid Zoom account. These, like I said, these are not mandatory, but these will save you a ton of time and energy. And if you, if cost is prohibitive at this point, or you feel like you're not even at the point where you're ready to like go live on Facebook like this week, but you want to hold off until, a couple weeks from now when you're ready to start going live and really driving those people to a discovery call, then you can wait and, create your Calendly account then. But like I said, there are always manual workarounds, but these are the ways that are kind of tried and true for saving yourself time and energy in booking these kinds of calls. And then obviously just a note, the above contains affiliate links. So if you do create a Calendly account and become a paying customer, then I will earn a commission at no additional cost to you. I just want to make that abundantly clear. But like I said, if it is cost prohibitive, it's just like with affiliate marketing training or any kind of training, you can absolutely learn that same information without paying for it. It's just going to take you a longer time to kind of get up and running and learn that information through trial and error. And the same is true with any paid tool. You can always do that work manually, but it is going to take you a longer time. So if you have a lot more money than time, pay for the tools that will help make your life easier and free up some of your time. If you have a lot more time and not so much money, then you can absolutely make this work without these paid tools, but it's just going to take you more of your own time to kind of manually do that back and forth. Something that, again, I just want to reiterate, and this is kind of along the lines of what we were talking about, I think on our last call, is like stay organized. Because eventually you're going to get to a place, and I promise you, even if you feel like I'm just starting, this will never happen, it will happen, that you're going to need to outsource some of these repetitive tasks associated with running your Facebook group. So stay organized to the point where you're able to create standard operating procedures or SOPs in the form of a flow chart so that you're able to outsource that flow of operations to a VA. For most of you, this will be several months in the future, but for some of you, that is probably closer than you think. So I just want to keep that like top of mind to not have it be like a messy, disorganized room where where everything is, but where somebody couldn't come in and just pick right up where you left off. Make sure that it is as linear as possible. And actually, I'm going to show you a flow chart that I'm working on in a second to kind of give you an idea of what that looks like. But this is kind of the beginning of a diagram that I could use to share with someone like a virtual assistant, that will let them know their role in the process and what they're expected to do. So let me kind of explain. So the process, this is kind of like a Facebook group lead nurture system. So this red box here on the left, the request to join the Facebook group, that's like initiated by the lead. So they're requesting to join the group. They filled out the questions. These blue boxes are like an automatic process. So there's an automatic approval via group leads. Group leads will send the welcome message. And then these boxes in green are things that I would outsource to a virtual assistant. So on day 3, they're going to send a manual voice message on day 5, a manual text message, day 7, so on and so forth. And what I would do is provide them with the DM script that I gave you guys that's going to show, okay, this is the exact process for how to send or like basically reply or forward a manual voice message so that I can repurpose that same voice message for multiple people. And I think I showed you guys how to do that on the last call. Is that right? Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not getting my calls mixed up because I know I showed that to someone. But what I would do is I would record, like screen record, and show exactly what that process looks like. So, oh yeah, that's right. I remember sending it to Chad. So if I come here to Facebook, so again, this call is being recorded, but if I pull up my messages with Chad, so, oops. So here's that voice memo that I sent. So I would be narrating this video as I'm giving instructions of how I would want my VA to handle this. Okay, so you're going to click these 3 dots, click more and forward. And you're going to send this to everyone on the list for today. So if I take one step back, so let's say that I add, and I think Amanda, we were talking about this on the last call, but if I add just once a day, I go through and I add all the people who have requested to be in my Facebook group. And so I have one batch of people every day that are kind of like a group. But I would give that list to my VA and say, this is like, you know, these are the people that need to receive the day 3 message. Then they can go find that list of people and find the person and click send. And so that person will receive the day 3 message and so on and so forth. And so now they're just going down the list and they're clicking send, and that's all they have to do for that voice memo. So again, they're receiving this video, this training video from me, basically explaining what that process looks like for them to execute. So then if
I know this is on down the line, but do they actually have access to your Facebook account? I guess they have to, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a big deal. I was just wondering. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I had the same question. And the feedback and the information that I've gotten from people who know more than me, like my coaches and mentors, is that they have experimented with having their virtual assistant sending it from other accounts. And they've tried doing automations where it's like an automated thing, sending it from their accounts rather than a human. And that account got shut down. And so like this information is kind of like the best of the best in terms of how to not get your account shut down, basically avoid all the mistakes that the people who've made those mistakes have learned along the way. So then just coming back to the sequence. Okay, so day 5, I'm sending the day 5 manual message. And so now they'll come in here, they'll take the list of people that I give them. And let's say again, you know, let's say Sheila is on there. So I'm going to open up Sheila's message, send her the day 5 message. We'll pretend that's what it is. And then they'll just go through, you know, person by person. And then day 7, day 14, etc. And on, I think well, we can start with day 3. So like on the day 3 sequence that I gave you guys, we're asking them, hey, like, can I help point you in the right direction to get started? They're either going to say yes, or they're going to say no. And so what I'm going to do is I need to spread these boxes out, but I'm going to have an offshoot. Let me show you this in real time, but I want to move this out of the way. But I'm going to add a little box. Let's say maybe it's a circle, but it's going to say like a positive response. And bear with me, I'm just moving this out the way. So if they respond with yes, I do need help. I need help with picking a niche. then the VA will know to send this message. And I'm not saying this is the actual message that I would send to someone. I'm just using this as an illustration. And then if that person says no, they're good, I still want to send them a high value video, but we're just going to change the message so that it makes sense in accordance with that person's response. So now the VA will be trained to know, okay, this is an example of a yes response. So the voice memo says, hey, do you need help getting pointed in the right direction? Like, I can help you get started. The person would say, yes, I need help with this, or I'm a little confused about this, but really like itemizing what that response looks like from the person responding to that voice message so that we can explain to the VA, this is an example, like these are yes responses. And that's when you would send them this template, if you will. Or if they say, no, I'm good, like, or no, I haven't really checked out the group yet. Okay, then respond with this. So let them know what's a yes response, what's a no response. And this will not only allow you to outsource it more easily, but it's really going to help you as a business owner kind of conceptualize where people need help. It'll better inform like the types of videos and the types of messages that you send them. But it will also give you an idea of, are people already checking out the group? Like if they're like, oh no, I haven't even checked out the group, I've been busy. Like that will kind of give you that data back from whatever the response is. So that's kind of just like context that you get to build along the way. So right here, I have Sheila's message open. Hi, Sheila. So this, where I say congratulations. So you see how this little picture, that's her profile picture. So she saw that message on Thursday at 4:40 a.m. my time, presumably. And then the message that I just sent her this morning during our training, it's been delivered, but she has not seen it yet.
Oh.
So that's kind of like part of the reason why. Let me try to find an older message, but. So like, here's an example of someone who requested to join my Facebook group, but this message has been sent, but they haven't received it. And we're not friends on Facebook. And so this message probably went to their message request folder. But that's part of the reason why it's like important to add people as friends on Facebook, or to get like to systematize it for them to add you as a friend, because that way the message will actually have a greater likelihood of being seen by that person, rather than being sent to their, hey, this could potentially be spam folder for messages. And I know that this was in the homework for our past call, but this is like my welcome post. So here's like a little backstory. Here's why I'm here. These are like kind of the action items for each person that as they join the group. So one of them is add me as a friend and check your DMs. So you and I will become well acquainted over the coming weeks and months. I value community highly, and believe me, it plays a critical role in the support of each individual in here, including you. I'll be personally sending you DMs to get to know you, yada, yada, yada. And so setting that expectation, obviously not everyone is going to read the Facebook post. Not everyone is going to take action, but the people that do take action, and the people that do read the Facebook post, and the people that do actually follow through with the things that we're asking them to do as they join our group, those are the action takers. So we want them to take that extra action to like add us as a friend, because we want to have that ability to have that open conversation with them via DM. But really thinking about, okay, so people are going to either say yes or no, and then I'm going to guide them depending on their response. And then we move on to the next box. Okay, so what's the message day 5 message say? It says, I don't remember. I think it's just sending a high value video. So, hey, Amanda, I just created this free training that shows you how to make your first $1,000 online. I think it'll really help you. Check it out. You know what I mean? And then you just send it, and then you can kind of triage any response back that you get. It could be, hey, stop messaging me, you're bothering me. Or it could be, oh my God, this is so helpful, tell me more about this. Or it could just be, they read it and they receive it, but they don't respond. You know what I mean? So you will get a panoply of responses, and that's just more data from people that you can use, again, add to your arsenal.